so before I get into this video and explain the Dark Orchid leak, I just want to say first off, up front, it has been debunked. And I'm mostly just covering this one to explain it, as I've seen it get really widespread, and I don't want misinformation to get out there. Basically, when something like this gains steam, it can get out of hand really quickly, so I wanted to make a video to let everybody know that this one has been debunked and explain what's going on. And I like these videos to somewhat document moments in Smash speculation history. Plus, speculating is fun, and this is the most eventful Smash thing that's happened in the last couple weeks or so, so whatever, it's fun to talk about this stuff. Also, I'm calling it the Dark Orchid leak instead of like Purple leak or Purple data code shade theory, because Dark Orchid leak just sounds cool to me. And I like when Smash speculation has unique, memorable names for things that happened. Alright, so before I get into this Dark Orchid thing, last Smash video I was talking about how it was really odd Nintendo had privated the August 8th Smash Direct from back in 2018. That's the one where they revealed Simon Belmont and King K. Rool for Smash Ultimate. A bunch of Nintendo YouTube channels in different regions had privated the video a few days before August 8th. Nintendo of Australia completely deleted the video, and while Japan had the video still up on their channel when I made my video, they eventually did remove it just like the other channels. Even stranger, shortly after that, the video got removed off of the Smash official websites as well. Not just the Nintendo YouTube channels, but all the different Smash websites also removed the video. On Twitter I wrote, okay, so now the Japanese 8/8/18 Smash Direct has been made private on YouTube just like it was in other regions. And they removed it from the official Japanese Smash website. What the heck is going on? It's gone from the North America and EU websites as well. So this wasn't a YouTube thing since Nintendo is taking down the video from their own sites. Very odd, especially the timing of August 8th being so soon. The whole thing was just really strange, and we speculated maybe some other direct would happen on August 8th, and the video was being removed to avoid confusion between the two directs. But August 8th came and went, and there wasn't a direct on that date. We did get an Indie World presentation on August 11th, and a Pokemon Direct on the 18th. Specifically the Pokemon Direct being 8/18/21, having the 8 and the 18 in the title, might have been why they took down the old Smash Direct. That one was titled 8/8/18, and the Pokemon one being 8/18/21. I could see them potentially wanting to avoid confusion with the directs, and the 8 and the 18 being in both of the titles. We will probably never know for sure why the Smash Direct was privated and removed from the official websites and all that. Could have been some copyright issue or something in the video, another possibility we were speculating about, but my guess is that the date of the Pokemon Direct being so similar to the old Smash Direct date is why it was removed. Just my guess though, it'll probably remain a mystery. Now the other odd thing that was happening I talked about in my last Smash video was that the Smash Bros JP Twitter account was being really slow announcing the Spirit and Tournament events. Usually the Smash Bros JP Twitter account puts out a tweet on Tuesday nights, in my time zone anyway, every week announcing the Smash event for that week. But lately they've been a few days behind doing that. In fact, for the past few weeks, the events have shown up in Smash before the Twitter account posts about them. So we haven't been getting our usual heads up about these events beforehand. I'm not sure why the Smash Bros JP Twitter account hasn't been on schedule, but it's happened at least the last 3 events. Mario Tennis, the Headbutt event, and the Chomping event. It remains to be seen if they give us a tweet in advance of whatever this week's event is or not. Again, it should be Tuesday night, but we'll see if they keep on schedule or if they're behind once again this week. Okay, so now let's talk about this Dark Orchid leak, which, like I said before, has probably been debunked. But still, I think it's worth talking about, at the very least so everyone is aware of what went on with it. So this is one of those color theories, and in fact it fits with the old color theory people were already proposing. So color theories are usually theories involving the background color for the DLC characters on the Smash Bros website. Generally, these theories are patterns with the background colors that are being used. I'm not big on pattern theories as they tend not to pan out. Most of the time when a pattern is noticed, it immediately falls apart with the next thing we get revealed. Just seems to be how patterns in Smash go. By the time people notice the pattern, the next thing we get breaks the pattern. Anyway, the most recent pattern color theory was essentially people noticed that the first pass plus Piranha Plant had similar background colors for the characters in the second pass, and the color we were missing was a shade of purple. Now, this wasn't exact or anything. All these characters use unique background colors, but we do seem to have a lot of the same basic colors, though in different shades, for the fighters in the first pass and then the fighters in the second pass. But when we take a look at the first and second pass, we can see in the second pass we are missing an equivalent color for Hero's background. Hero had like a violet-purple background in the first pass. Again, this is just a pattern people noticed. It absolutely does not have to pan out in the end. Saying Sephiroth's very grayish green works as a green for this, or that Banjo's orange fits for Min Min's yellow, is a bit of a stretch to begin with. So this pattern theory, again, isn't exact. These colors don't match perfectly. I'm just not usually one for these color theories or pattern theories in general. The pattern can easily be broken once a character shows up who doesn't fit with it, and I don't think Sakurai or the Smash team plans this stuff out simply to fit patterns. And even if a pattern does end up coming true in the end, it's almost certainly just coincidental. Again, I don't think the Smash team plans out patterns purposely. Okay, so while purple was the guessed at final background color for Challenger Pack 11, according to color theory, to fit with Hero's background, I personally was not putting much thought into color theory actually panning out in the end. Purple could be the final background color, but just as easily the final character could have any background color that fits for them, and the whole color theory could just fall apart, and so I wasn't really banking on it. Then yesterday, we got this Dark Orchid leak, which at first seemed much more definitive and suggested that a shade of purple would in fact be the background color for DLC Fighter number 11. Now again, this one has pretty much been debunked at this point, but let me explain what it is and how it gained a lot of attention yesterday. Okay, so as far as I can tell, it started over on GameFAQs, and here's the post and what it says. Number 1, and there's a link to a Nintendo website for the eShop. Sephiroth, Kazuya, and CHP11's URL have stopped working for me. Number 2, enter the URL of choice in, and then they give another link. Number 3, a loading screen should appear with a list of links. The one I am highlighting is, and they show another link. Number 4, there should be a line of text which reads, and then they list a few colors: light sea green, forest green, goldenrod, Dodger blue, dark orchid, crimson. And this is in a long string of code. Number 5, the colors listed match the colors used for fighters' backgrounds in Fighter Pass 2 promotional material. Number 6, goldenrod equals Min Min, Dodger blue equals Steve, forest green equals Sephiroth, light sea green equals Pyra and Mithra, Kazuya equals Crimson. And then they give reasons for why these colors were used for these characters, or assumed reasons. Usually it has to do with a color that's part of the character themselves, or in Sephiroth's case, the grayish green gloomy color sort of reflects the Final Fantasy VII logo. Number 7, Dark Orchid remains, which is a shade of purple, by the way. Take this with a grain of salt, but Challenger Pack 11 might be a character somewhat associated with the color purple. Thanks. So basically within the website code string on the eShop, there's a short list of colors which seem to line up with the background colors that are being used for the second Fighter Pass's DLC fighters on the Smash website. Except for one color which we don't have as a background for any fighter yet: Dark Orchid. Here's the website they link to with the long string of code, and I've highlighted the part with the different color shades. It is there. And listing off the fighters like they did, it does appear the colors could fit for them. It does kind of line up. A quick Google search, and Dark Orchid is a specific purple color, named after a certain type of orchid flower. It seems to generally be this sort of shade of purple. So suddenly it seemed like someone might have stumbled upon the final DLC fighter's background color, and that color might be Dark Orchid, which is a shade of purple, which of course lines up with what color theory had predicted the final fighter's background color would be anyway. So this idea that the final fighter's background would be purple went from a flimsy theory based on a pattern of colors being used for the first and second pass, trying to match them up, to a theory with hard data suggesting the exact shade of purple the website would actually use. The Dark Orchid leak seemed very strong at first. So of course, with this Dark Orchid shade of purple discovered, people started guessing at characters that could fit for the color purple. Again, if you look at the other characters and the background colors they use, they usually line up in some way. Either it's a color that is in some way part of that character's color scheme, or it has something to do with that character's series. Obviously, the first character that comes to mind when thinking Smash speculation and the color purple is Waluigi. Waluigi is even associated with flowers often. Not that the shade of purple here being dark orchid means the fighter would have anything to do with the orchid flower, but whatever, it was interesting. We also did have a pinball event recently, which I guess could mean pinball is on Sakurai and the Smash team's minds, so to some extent it could potentially point to Waluigi's pinball potentially being a stage. I don't know, that one's kind of flimsy. But regardless of all that, having this dark orchid purple color for Challenger Pack 11 would certainly make Waluigi feel much more plausible as the last Smash Ultimate fighter. He is, after all, heavily associated with the color purple. But there are, of course, other characters, even other Mario characters, this could fit for. King Boo is often associated with purple, and tends to have a purple haze aura behind him, so that would be a fitting background for that character. Porky Minch, another oft-talked-about potential Smash Ultimate DLC fighter, is also heavily associated with purple, especially in his Smash incarnations. His old Smash Brawl design, I think, is the most purple I've ever seen Porky represented. And of course, New Pork City is a very purple-looking stage, so a purple background would fit Porky well. While I don't think a Pokemon is particularly likely to end off the second Fighter's Pass at this point, Toxtricity is certainly in the running if a Pokemon rep were to happen, and obviously a purple background would fit very well for Toxtricity. It's a purple Pokemon. Moving off of the first-party Nintendo characters, Spyro, of course, is one of the most popular video game characters associated with the color purple. Though would Spyro ever really get chosen for Smash over Crash Bandicoot? I'm a bit doubtful of that. Similarly, Rayman comes to mind. Obviously, Rayman has a purple shirt, and even despite his purple body color, he would still pop really well against a purple background, as his face and the other parts of his body aren't purple. Frisk is another character that has purple on their shirt. I've actually seen a lot of Frisk speculation, though personally, I think the Sans Me and the music track we got is probably it for Undertale stuff in Smash Ultimate. That's just my personal guess at that, though. People started guessing really out there stuff like Morgan from Darkstalkers, unsure if she could ever make it into Smash if May couldn't even get in the background of the King of Fighters stage. Morgan seems like the type of character that might bump the Smash rating up a bit. I saw some people talking about Neku from The World Ends With You, as he has a lot of purple in his color scheme. Not sure if another Square rep could actually make it in as DLC, but I'm absolutely loving Neo The World Ends With You. It's actually probably my choice for Game of the Year right now, so if you get a chance to play it, check it out. Me and some friends are actually currently in the middle of making some cosplay for Neo The World Ends With You characters. So once again, I'll shamelessly plug this series. If you haven't played Neo The World Ends With You yet, go play it. It's awesome. If you haven't played the original The World Ends With You, go play it. It's awesome. Another underappreciated game series I really enjoy that I saw some people guessing at was Phantasy Star, as Phantasy Star has some purple-themed characters, and the whole series could fit pretty well for a purple background. Though I think we all know if there's one Sega character who's overdue to get into Smash Bros. And is heavily associated with the color purple, it's gotta be Big the Cat. Nahobino, I think that's how you say this character's title, from the upcoming Shin Megami Tensei 5 is already highly speculated about as a potential Challenger Pack 11 fighter, and could fit for a purple background. While the character doesn't really have a purple color scheme to them, it's more of a dark blue, I could see them having purple as a background. Honestly, the background color doesn't have to be a color from the character themselves, or really their series. Even Heroes series Dragon Quest isn't really a series that makes me think purple immediately, though 11 does have a purple outfit on. Honestly, if you want the background color to make the fighter pop a bit, you'd probably not want a fighter with a background that's the same exact color as most of their body or something. Of course, this particular dark orchid shade of purple is different than lots of other shades of purple, like Waluigi's usual purple shade. So purple characters can work with the dark orchid background, and non-purple characters can also work, and the background could maybe make them pop, or sort of fit with the look of the character in some way. You can argue a lot of characters work well with a purple background, even if they have no purple associated with them specifically. Here's Ryo Hayabusa with some purple backgrounds behind him. It kind of works for a lot of characters. So while a purple background would likely mean the fighter would have some purple on them in some way, at least a complementary color in their color scheme, or that their series is somehow associated with the color purple, something like how Sephiroth has that gray-green color that's often associated with Final Fantasy VII. Even if this Dark Orchid leak was right, and we knew the background shade for Challenger Pack 11, it would still be really hard to definitively narrow down who that might truly be for. Anyway, regardless of all that stuff, whether a purple character fits for a purple background, or a character with just a little bit of purple in their color scheme, or a series associated with purple, or a character that would just work well with a purple background, regardless of all that stuff, this Dark Orchid leak has likely been debunked anyway. So a few hours after it started getting a lot of attention and gaining a ton of steam, and many of us were pretty convinced Challenger Pack 11 would have a purple, specifically Dark Orchid background color, MrJudd on Smashboards wrote this. I hate to be that guy, but someone gotta control the rails of Smash speculation before it blows up on their faces. So this code mentioned here belongs to a file that can still be found on the eShop called td.min.js, which is part of a SDK, software development kit, used by the eShop. This file is not exclusive to the Smash pages. You can also find it in any of the DLC pages by inspecting the page. For example, I looked at the BlazBlue DLC page here, and it still was there, with no differences. Link here, and then they post a link. Clicking sources and looking for cdn.treasuredata.com, there you'll find the file which has the mention of these 6 colors, and they are the exact same ones. The reason people fell for this is because the colors sounded too similar to the ones used by the pass, but this is nothing more than a coincidence. Because, number one, this belongs to a single SDK file that is used by the entire eShop, not just the Smash pages. Number two, the eShop uses PNGs, so no hard-coded color would be there. Not only that, but all the pages use a gold background, which has nothing to do with Smash's website. So in the end, this list of colors in the code, including Dark Orchid, is probably not the list of colors for the background of the DLC fighters. It's present on the other eShop pages, not just the Smash eShop page, and is likely just a coincidence that the color shades listed in the code here seem to line up with the background of the second Fighter Pass DLC fighters. Mass for Alligator on my Discord wrote, the same code is on every eShop listing. I've been told the exact same code is used on this listing here. So yeah, this one basically spiraled out of control very quickly without being looked at closer. Seems to be a false alarm, but still I figured it's a moment worth highlighting in Smash speculation history, and worth explaining why everyone seemed so sure Dark Orchid would be Challenger Pack 11's background color yesterday. But now we are pretty much right back where we started. Purple could be the Final Fighter's background color, but it also might not be. We'll just have to wait and see. But if you're out there on the internet and you see people speculating about this Dark Orchid color or claiming the final character's background color has to be purple, sorry guys, it got debunked. Alright, so in other Smash news, Sakurai has been appearing on these Harada's Bar videos alongside Harada, the producer of the Tekken series. Sakurai has done 2 of these videos so far, and a 3rd one is still on the way. A lot of interesting stuff has been talked about in these little interview videos, but rather than just regurgitate everything that was said there, I suggest you just go watch them for yourselves. Sakurai is a very interesting guy, and it's always fun to hear what he has to say. A few highlighted things that he talked about include Sakurai mentioning how he doesn't really drink water because it sort of makes him sick, that he can't really be scared by scary movies because he just thinks about how the special effects were done the whole time. He really likes to drive, and he talked a lot about all the different types of cars he likes. Sakurai has thought about retirement many times before. And he also said he doesn't like some of the memes people make using his likeness, especially if it's something he never said. On that last point, while I do sympathize with Sakurai not wanting to be used as meme fodder, it's kind of become a part of the price of fame in today's world. So in my opinion, it is what it is. I doubt there's any stopping it. Sakurai has openly promoted himself as the face of the Smash Bros. Series and doing the Sakurai Presents videos and stuff. And I absolutely love the Sakurai Presents videos and everything Sakurai does for us fans. But the reality is the level of interaction and publicity that he does can open up the floodgates for memes and stuff. That's just the world we live in today with the internet the way it is. So I'd say if we want Sakurai to continue being so upfront and open about his work and doing things like the Smash presentations, we should treat Sakurai with respect and avoid making memes about him, especially ones with things he's never said before. But I'm also well aware of the reality of the internet, so the truth here is Sakurai might just have to learn to live with the memes. Again, it's just kind of part of the price of fame in today's world, sadly. Alright, I just want to briefly mention a little bit more about that Pokemon Presents video we got earlier this week. I think Legends Arceus looks pretty cool, open world, being set in the past, sneaking up to catch the Pokemon, actually running around in the wild, having Pokemon attack the trainers, and all the other original stuff this game is attempting feels like a breath of fresh air for the series. Glad to see this one's happening. But I want to mention a couple speculative things that came up from that video. First, I saw some people have noticed that the Greninja plushie was right next to the Cinderace plushie, and since Greninja is in Smash, people were saying this could be a hint that Cinderace will be in Smash too. That feels like yellow and purple chair theory territory to me though, so I don't think that's actually a hint at a Smash character. No, the really interesting speculation to come out of that presentation wasn't actually in the presentation at all. Over on Twitter, Centro Leaks had posted some Pokemon stuff a while back in February, specifically about Legends Arceus. Not sure if that's where this stuff originated, but that's where I first saw it. We have a whole bunch of images here, and some of them are silhouetted Pokemon, and this Pokemon presentation shed some light on a few of those silhouettes. We saw there's rideable Pokemon this time around, like the Hisuian Braviary and Weirdeer, and if you look at some of these images of the silhouettes, you can see those Pokemon. There is one silhouette, though, that looks like a climbing Pokemon of some kind that we did not see in the Pokemon presentation. It looks like it has some backpack on, so maybe the trainer rides in a backpack while this Pokemon climbs up steep surfaces. Could be another rideable Pokemon and another type of terrain element that's tough to get over without that Pokemon. I have no clue who this Pokemon could be. It seems to have a big leaf on its head, maybe, so Oddish came to mind, but potentially it's like something from the Nuzleaf line, maybe a Hisuian Shiftry that keeps the Nuzleaf single leaf on its head and it just grows really big. I don't know, that's just a guess. This could be something totally new, a totally new Pokemon, and whatever looks like a big leaf might not even be a big leaf at all. We'll have to wait and see what this Pokemon actually looks like, but I think it's cool there could be a rideable climbing Pokemon, and it might be either a new form or a completely new Pokemon. An image that isn't hard to figure out, though, involves the newest playable racer to join the Mario Kart Tour game. Over on Twitter, Mario Kart Tour wrote, "The Frost Tour is wrapping up in hashtag Mario Kart Tour. Next up is the Kamek Tour, featuring RMX Ghost Valley 1. In case the tour's name isn't a big enough hint, the new driver is hidden somewhere in this image. And if you look at that image, you can see Kamek in the background. Getting Kamek or Magikoopa in Mario Kart is long overdue. They were a planned character for Mario Kart 64, and then in typical Nintendo fashion, this fan-favorite character has taken a really long time to actually get into Mario Kart. Better late than never, I suppose, but I don't understand why Nintendo can be so stingy with some of their characters in certain games. It's just really weird. There are tons of characters people would love to see in Mario games that we either haven't seen in a long time or in different Mario games that they're usually not in, like Waluigi being outside of sports games, bringing back Wart, maybe getting Gino and Mallow from Square for something, even adding characters like Daisy and Wario to mainline Mario games seems like pulling teeth with Nintendo. Just throw the fans some bones, Nintendo. You have all these great characters, put them in your games. A couple other cool Nintendo things, we've been slowly getting Metroid Dread information, and a new trailer is coming out on August 27th, so I'm excited to see that. A WarioWare demo came out, and I'm pretty excited for this game. Seems like a perfect fit for the Switch. Go check out the demo, it's pretty good. Also, the Switch dominated Japan's top 30 gaming Famitsu poll 2 weeks in a row. This is the first time since the late 80s a single console has managed to dominate the top 30. I guess PlayStation has apparently fallen way behind Nintendo in the Japanese market. Kind of unbelievable to see happen, honestly, but here we are. In non-Nintendo gaming news, 343 unfortunately announced Halo Infinite will not have a co-op campaign or Forge at launch, but it is still on track to release this holiday season. Bummer to hear that. I just hope the game is a very polished, classic Halo shooter experience when it does launch, and hopefully those other things can be added later on. Jeff Keighley also announced that later this week at Gamescom, we will see more of the TMNT Shredder's Revenge game. I'm super excited for that one, so happy to get some more information soon. And Gamescom itself looks really cool, so I can't wait to get more gaming information this week. Alright, well that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. What do you guys think about the Dark Orchid leak? Do you think it's totally debunked? And do you think the final character could have a purple background regardless of the Dark Orchid thing? If you guys have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I talked about in this video, leave them below.
Remember to like the video, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe to PapaGenos!
Twitter, Patreon, Discord.